Hi everyone. What I'll be doing is be showing you alternatives for your practice at home. If you're practicing at home and you don't have the equipment, so that's what we'll be doing today. So thank you for joining me. My name is Daniel, and I will go through a couple of um, substitutions of props for you to use at home if you don't have the equipment, like if you don't have the belt or blocks, right? Or the bolster that they have at the gyms. So hopefully this is going to help you with your practice at home. And remember to share this post and also review it. Let's see if it helps you with your future practices at home. If you have any questions, don't forget to comment. Don't forget to send me a message. I'll be glad to reply back to you with any assistance. And if I don't know the answer, I'll find it for you. So one of the things that I'll start with is the belt, right? Normally, if you buy a mat, you have a mat. Well, first of all, if you don't have a mat, you don't need a mat. So you could just on your carpet. If you have wood floors, you probably want to put a towel. Something, and then if it's a towel you feel very slippery, one of the things I would do, I would recommend is get a little spray bottle, spray it so it could get a little damp, and that will get you a little bit of a grip. And then of course, if you do have a mat, a lot of the mats do with belts, and if you have a belt, this is a belt that comes with it, you could use when we do our leg stretches, but if you don't have a belt, there's alternatives you could use. We all wear belts, right? So if you have a belt, your kid's belt or your husband's or your own belt, right? Or your wife's belt, it doesn't matter. You could use it as a strap. Now, if you have that flexibility, you don't need a belt at all. That's great, right? You could use your hands. Also, what things you could do is you could also use a scarf, right? It is kind of chilly out there. It is April showers. So what you could do is go ahead and grab that strap, that scarf, and use that scarf as a belt, right? Use it anyway, so that'll be a good alternative. If you have that flexibility but not fully there to grab your foot, you could get a handkerchief, fold it up, grab it, put it, and stretch it, right? So this is another alternative on that. So those are the three alternatives I have for you when it comes to a belt. Now, when it comes to alternatives for blocks, right? If you have attended my class, I do not use a lot of props myself. I try not to use it. It's not because I'm flexible. It's that I don't want my body to get used to props or assistance. So with time, I should be able to go and bring my hands all the way to the floor, and now just come down and just put my hands on the block, but lower, right? As you know, the blocks have different levels. So what I use for alternatives for blocks is books. Here's a big, thick book. It's about wine. So it's a good read, of course, if you love wine. But you could also use it as a block, right? If you have the block, okay? This book is kind of not hardcover book, so I would use this book only to have it flat and get a little bit support on a block than a block, right? Now I have another block here, another book which is hardcover, a lot more thicker, a lot more sturdier, and also I could use it as a prop for the flat, or if I need it higher, I could go ahead and bring it here, right? So we should have, a lot of us have books at home, our kids' books, right? Here's my Bella's book, right? It's a very thick book, and it's nice and hard, so I could use it as a block. Now, if this feels really low, you need a little bit thicker, you could combine books and stack them if you need stacks, right? So you could get 6 books. Especially if you have kids at home that are going to school, a high school or college. I understand now the books are really big and thick and heavy, so maybe you could use their books, and pile them up so they could be your blocks. Also, if you have 2 blocks and you're like, well, this is a good height, you could get a towel and just wrap them up. Wrap them up and make it into a block yourself right there, so it won't be too slippery just in case they are. And they steady. You could tie them up so then they could be nice and steady. So these are good alternatives to use for blocks, books. Also, you could use your water bottle. A water bottle, if you have 2 water bottles, you could use your 2 water bottles. Make sure they're like strong, heavy duty bottles, because if you get little plastic bottles, well, of course they're gonna collapse. So just remember to use a nice strong bottle. A lot of times what you want to do when you use a bottle or any kind of bottle, make sure you don't put too much pressure on the bottle, so that most of the weight is being carried by your body. The other part is that if you have pillows, when it comes, pillows are good for your lower back. So a lot of times when we do our blocks in the back, you could put a pillow in the back, right? Or you could also put a book and a pillow. And also when you're sitting, you could sit on the blocks. You could get your pillows and put the pillows on the sides when you're sitting down, so they could be there for support. The other part, when we're at the end of the class, when we do savasana, we do butterfly, you could get a blanket, roll it up, put it on your mat, and then just put your knees over it, and you can lay on your back. And then you'll also get a pillow and put it over your head, if necessary, right? And if you go into a butterfly, you have your pillows again, and put those pillows and open up. So these are alternatives that you could use for yoga props if you don't have any, and you're at home and you need something like that. Also, when we do balancing poses, if you're in the house, you could go ahead and sit in your couch, or you could sit in a chair, and you could come and do a balance pose. Something that we did this week is come here, and then just sit, and then twist. Okay, so this is going to help you with that for balancing. Or you could get onto the couch and open up, right? It's just a way to help you with balance poses. Or if you're inside doing it next to a couch that you need support, and it's a little higher than the books or the pillows, you could use the couch, the chair, or even your kids' table. So hopefully this helps you guys. Like I said, normally my practice, I don't use props, but if you're familiar with the props and you want to use your props, these are alternatives for you. Thank you very much for joining me. Have a beautiful Sunday. Namaste. May you be blessed. And just let's go ahead and end this tutorial here with a little bit of meditation. Come to any sitting position that you're comfortable in. Take a seat. Sit nice and tall. And just breathe. Take nice deep inhales. Exhale. And try to focus on one thing. Again, you can keep your hands your hands on your knees, or bring them together. I like keeping them like this, and just focus on the breath. And now, what I want you to do today, just think of something positive. Breathe. Inhale that positive thought, and then exhale it. Push it out to the world. Inhale that positive note again. Exhale it out. Keep thinking that beautiful thought, positive thought. Give it energy. Give it positive energy. And as you exhale, share it with the world. Share it with your surrounding. And just breathe and connect. Let's go ahead and take a nice deep inhale. Nice exhale. And on your exhale, start blinking your eyes open. Bring the hands to prayer. Namaste. Remember, if you want to go longer, just continue to breathe. Longer inhales, longer exhales. And you could do this for 5 minutes, 10, 15, even up to 30 minutes to an hour. It's all up to you. Just find calmness and sending lots of positive vibes towards you.